But good morning, everybody. How we doing? I'm going to say hi to all the people way over there. Woo! All the people way over there. We have the most incredible chairman's breakfast ever. This is completely awesome, and if this doesn't fire me up, nothing will. So thank you very much. Thank you to Chairman Doug House, who has just done an amazing job as the president of the Illinois Democratic Chairman Association, the County Chairmen's Association. Thank you to all of the county chairmen. Thank you to all of the precinct workers, all of the volunteers, every single person that is out there working hard on behalf of all Democrats. It has been my true honor and privilege to get to know so many of you over the last year. You know, last year I was here, it was basically like my debut. Many of you got to know me for the very first time. I got to know you for the very first time. But how much changes over a year? We've put almost a little over, actually, 30,000 miles on my car. Those are central Illinois, downstate Illinois miles, and while I do live north of I-80, I can tell you that my heart has gotten 2 to 3 times as big because of central and southern Illinois. I love you. Thank you. And so I get to come back today, and how exciting, because now I don't feel like I'm meeting people for the first time. There might be a few that I haven't met yet, but I feel like I'm amongst family, and I appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. Thank you. Well, thanks. And speaking of family, this year I have my mom with me, who's just turned 81 on Thursday. So Mom, stand up. She's short, so you still might not see her, but there you go. That's my mom. Happy birthday, Mom. Feliz cumpleaños. La quiero muchísimo. I just said I love her lots, because it's true. She and my father, who unfortunately passed away over 20 years ago, my mom, she's been my rock, and my father and her have been and always will be my greatest mentors. My husband, David, is there as well, and our 3-year-old son, who I think is probably out of the room now. Oh, there he is. He was climbing escalators like every good 3-year-old should do. But David has been the most amazing thing to happen to me in my life. He and that 3-year-old who I adore, and I could honestly not be doing this with the passion and determination and just sincere commitment that I have if I didn't have his determination and his commitment and his unconditional love and support. So thank you, honey. Thank you so much. And so there you have it. You know, we are 81 days away. 81 days away from the November 8th election, and we have very little time to spare in taking back our state from Governor Rauner and Comptroller Munger. You know who she is. She's the self-proclaimed wingman of this governor, and clearly his appointee beholden to him. So here's a funny little tidbit. This is kind of interesting. You might find it. Yesterday at Republican Day, my opponent, Comptroller Munger, she actually accused me of being a product of powerful men. Yeah. You know, she disparaged my record. She even questioned my ability to do math. And at the end of the day, she said that my comments today would be about nothing related to solving problems in the state of Illinois. Well, Leslie, here I am. Now you listen up. So look, ever since I was a little girl, I fell in love with playing soccer. And at the time, I played on all boys soccer teams. It was at that time that I found out how to play in a world dominated by men. It was boys at the time, but you know, they seemed big to me. But guess what? I thrived in that world. And then after graduating college as a decorated student athlete, I got really active in politics and I fell in love with it. But again, a very male-dominated world. But a world in which I learned to play with, but not for, my male counterparts. And unlike Comptroller Munger, I have a history of standing up to leaders in my own party. I ran against the machine, not once, but twice. The first time I lost, but the second time I won. I also led the charge as a key sponsor and member of the impeachment committee of Governor Rod Blagojevich. And in my first year as city clerk, I publicly took on Mayor Emanuel, and I won that battle. The sexist notion that any one of us was put into a position of power, like, say, being appointed to a statewide spot, I don't know, only through the power of men, you know, that has no place in 2016, and it's something that's straight out of the Donald Trump playbook on women. You know, I'd never say that about women because it's never been my experience. And little girls everywhere across the state and across the country, they should know that they can play great in a man's world and brilliantly succeed on their very own. So this is fun. This is why Hillary Clinton, she will be our next United States president. She will. She will because she'll earn it. Tammy Duckworth, where's Tammy? Oh, she already, sorry about that. Well, she's in our hearts, always present. Tammy, you know her, she's a decorated war hero. She flew a helicopter leading brave men and women into a war zone and sacrificed so much for our country. She is going to be our next U.S. Senator. She is, because she's going to earn it. And like every election that I've ever run in and won, I'm going to be your next comptroller because I too will earn it. Now, the state's checkbook, you know, it shouldn't be run at the direction of Governor Rauner, but that's exactly what's happening today. Just as Comptroller Dan Hines did when he was in office, I will bring an important checks and balance to the office of the governor. Because, folks, when I'm your comptroller, I'll be an independent, truth-telling fiscal watchdog, not the lapdog that currently exists today. And you know what? I'm running for the most important office that most people have never heard of. Comptroller of the state of Illinois. But here's why it matters. It matters because the comptroller controls the state's checkbook. The numbers, ledgers, the spreadsheets, they're more than just numbers. They tell a story. They tell a story about the people of Illinois and how we choose to prioritize them. These are real people with real problems, and they deserve better. And as your comptroller, I will tell their story, and I will prioritize people over politics. And Comptroller Munger, she says she's qualified to be comptroller because she's managed big brands at Helene Curtis. Brands like Suave shampoo and Degree deodorant. Well, guess what, folks? There is no amount of shampoo or deodorant that can help clean up the mess that she and Governor Rauner have created in the state of Illinois. So here's my experience. I'm the twice elected Chicago City Clerk, and I've served for more than 10 years as a member of the Illinois General Assembly. Always elected, never appointed. Like every single person in this room, I've actually had to work hard to achieve anything in my life. And as a legislator, I developed a keen working knowledge of how state government should work. And as the first woman ever elected to the office of Chicago City Clerk, I've gained invaluable executive management experience, successfully running the second largest office in the city of Chicago that will enable me to hit the ground running as your comptroller, improving efficiency, transparency, and accountability in the office of the comptroller. I'm proud of my record as Chicago City Clerk, and since being elected in 2011, I've managed and modernized the second largest office in the city. I've done so with 10% less payroll. I've cut overtime in my office by 70%. I came in under budget every year that I've been clerk. I dramatically improved customer service. I've rooted out waste and fraud. And I've generated over $30 million in new revenue for the city of Chicago without asking taxpayers to pay more. So you see, Comptroller Munger, I'm actually pretty good at math. On the other hand, under the watch of Governor Rauner and Comptroller Leslie Munger, our most vulnerable have truly indeed suffered. Social service agencies have closed their doors. Daycare and early childhood services, cut. Thousands of college students have quit school because they lost their MAP grant funding. And frail seniors who rely on Meals on Wheels, they're going hungry. Or worse yet, many of them have been sent off to nursing homes where they've lost their security and their dignity. All of this is happening in our state while Leslie Munger remains silent. While Governor Rauner plays political games and vulnerable people get hurt, Leslie Munger, silent. And while Donald Trump continues to spew racist, sexist, dangerous, hateful rhetoric, Leslie Munger, silent. She has yet to denounce Donald Trump. But why would she? She's proud to have her campaign chairperson aligned with the Trump campaign. And she's proud to have her campaign chairperson on the front lines of the right to work for less legislation. In their zeal to lower wages for all people across the state, except of course, we know this, for the 1%. You know, Comptroller Munger and Governor Rauner have shown how completely out of touch they are with hardworking men and women. My father, he was an awesome union pipe fitter. My father-in-law raised 9 kids on the salary of a union electrician out of Joliet. I know firsthand the contributions that hardworking men and women in organized labor have given to this state. And I'll stand up to anyone who tries to take away the ability of our brothers and sisters in labor to be able to feed their families and do well by their people. I won't be silent, and I'm going to use my bully pulpit to push back on the bully. So Comptroller Munger, you know, she's had 2 years now, 2 years, to stand up to Governor Rauner, to his disastrous turnaround agenda. But instead, what she's done is she's championed it at the expense of holding the most vulnerable hostage. She says she's proud of her record as comptroller. The very same person who not only waited to be sued in the courts, but even worse, waited to be threatened with contempt of court before releasing funds for the most vulnerable in our state, specifically developmentally disabled seniors and children. I think you'd agree, as would those seniors and sick kids, that that is no record to be proud of. 2 years. 2 years without a budget. It's never, ever happened in the history of our state. The only new variable, folks, to this equation is the Munger-Rauner team. So it boils down to this. It's really simple. If you like and are happy with the dysfunction that is Springfield today, then vote for her. But if you want an independent, tested, and proven leader who will fight for you, then I'm your girl. We have 81 days left. My favorite number today. Tomorrow it'll be 80. And I need your help to win this thing. I need you. I need your help. I need your votes. I need you to make calls for me. I need you to get people to the polls for me. We need to do this, but I need you to do it not just for me, but for every single Democrat on the Democratic ticket this year. Every single Democrat, from the top to the very bottom. Hillary Clinton, for Tammy Duckworth, for me, for Sherry Bustos, for Brendan Phelps, for Gary Forby, for Mike Smitty. You pick your Democrat, but pick a good Democrat and vote Democrat this election day. The future of our state seriously and honestly depends on it. And we have to elect Democrats from the top to the bottom, and we cannot do it without you. So please, Democrats, thank you for your support. God bless you. Let's get this thing and take it over the goal line, and let's score a great big goal, since soccer is still my favorite sport. God bless you. Thank you.